This is going to be the notes and homework for 8th grade, Unit 6. Today we're talking about proportional relationships. I know this looks like a lot of problems, the sheet that you guys have in front of you. It's 16 in total, and I'm going to try to do at least one of each kind for you, so you won't have quite as much to do afterwards. On number 1, it says, which graph represents the relationship between x and y in the table below? Honestly, without even reading it, it's pretty easy to figure out what you're supposed to be doing here. They give us this table right here, and we're just trying to figure out what graph matches it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read these like coordinates. I'm going to use this set right here, because that's pretty easy to interpret. That's just 0, 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to each graph and figure out if it has 0, 0. Well, unfortunately, that doesn't narrow it down for us at all, because every one of these has a point at 0, 0. So now what I'm going to do, I could use the negatives, but everybody knows negative sucks. So I'm going to start with that 2, 8. So looking at answer choice A, here is 2 on the x-axis, and well, I guess 8, there's 7 there, there would be 8. So I'd be expecting a point right there, and so that doesn't match at all. But I can kind of look at my other graphs, and it's probably going to end up being B, but let's check it out anyways, just to be on the safe side. So here's my 2 for the x-axis, so I'd have to go over 2 and up 8. So over 2, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's 6. Didn't quite hit it. 7, 8. It's kind of hard to tell because we're having to go off the graph. My money is on B, but let's go check the other ones real quick just to be on the safe side. Well, clearly this one's not going to go over 2, up 8. So C is out. And then D, yeah, clearly over 2, up 8 is not going to work on that one either. So while B was pretty hard to read, it's definitely going to be the best option for this one. Number 2 is pretty much the exact same setup, so you guys try that one on your own. On the back side, number 3 looks like it's going to be a very similar thing, just kind of glancing at it, but let's read through it anyways. It says the relationship between a faucet dripping for X minutes and the number of cups of water Y that are wasted is shown in the table below. So it says X is the number of minutes, so this is minutes. And then Y is the how much is wasted. Oh, cups of water. So it's the amount of how many cups of water is wasted. So I'm just going to label that cups. So we're talking about cups per minute because there's our Y-axis right there. There's our X-axis there. And again, we're just honestly all we're doing. Even if I didn't know the cups and minutes and whatever else, I would know that I'm just trying to find common points. So I'm going to start with this the 3 and the 1. So it means I have to go over 3 on the X and up 1 on the Y. So here I'm going to go over 3 on the X and up 1 on the Y. Well, that point didn't go through there, so A is out. On B, should go over 3, up 1, not even close, so B is completely out. On C, got to go over 3, up 1. C is clearly out. I really hope it's D, otherwise that means I messed up. On D, I go over 3, up 1. That looks perfect. So our answer is going to be D on number 3. Number 4 is similar situation, so try that one out on your own. Okay, number 5 on the next page. I know this looks intense and scary. You got a big old thing to read. They give you a graph, they give you a question, and they got all kinds of answer choices and whatever else, and they all look pretty similar. Don't let these freak you out, especially come STAAR test time. You got to read it, and you got to try to understand what it's actually looking for. So, on number 5, it says the graph of the relationship between the number of calories, X, in a fast food hamburger, and the number of grams of fat, Y. The slope of the line is 1/16. So that's like, that would be like our rise, and that would be our run. Remember that slope, we got a ton of words for that. Slope, rise of a run, constant rate, unit rate, rate of change, all of that. Same dang thing. Anyway, so on to the actual question. So it says, what is the unit rate of the relationship between calories and grams of fat? If that didn't make any sense to you, that's fine, I understand, but we are getting to that point where I need you to know that, like I said, unit rate and slope are the same thing. So I'm going to say it one more time because it's super important. This slope and the unit rate are the same thing, and it just wants to know what the unit rate is. They gave it to us right here. It's just going to be that 1/16. So our answer is going to be A on number 5. Similar story on number 6, so I'm going to try that one on your own. Honestly, 7 and 8 are pretty similar too, so we're going to take a look at number 8 just so you don't get freaked out by it. So 8 says the thumb drive costs, a thumb drive, just a thumb drive I think, costs $16.89 per package. What is the slope of the line that models this situation? Okay, so it wants to know what the slope is. They don't really give us any information that it costs $16.89 per package. That's a unit rate right there. That'd be $16.89 over 1 for every package. That's it. That is our answer. All we do is plug in that 1689. So again, try those other ones out on your own. On to the next part. Again, 9 and 10 look pretty similar, so I'll have you guys try 10 on your own. So number 9 says the variable y and x are related by the equation y equals negative 3x. Which graph shows this relationship? Okay, so pretty much we're just identifying the graph that goes with it. So here is, hopefully you guys remember, that thing is called, that's our m, that's our slope, that's our unit rate, our rate of change. It's also our rise over our run, which is extremely important in this situation. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take that negative 3, so I'm going to write it over here for right now. And I need to use that number, but I don't want to change it. So I'm going to make this over 1. So this will be my rise, and this will be my run. There's not a plus b here, so it's like plus 0, which means I got to start in the center. And it looks like all these graphs start in the center, so that didn't narrow it down much. But actually, I'm going to show you one, and then I'm going to explain what the big but in our way is. So from that point, looks like I have to drop 3, and I have to run 1. So from that red dot right there, I'm going to drop 1, 2, 3, and run over 1. Well, our dot's not anywhere near that. Our graph didn't line up with that, so A is out. I could do that on all the other graphs, but what I want to point out is if I were to draw my line something like this, because our slope is negative, our line should look like that. Well, the only answer choice that has a negative slope is D. So our answer has got to be D. You guys try number 10 on your own. All right, next page. Go to number 11, and I'll let you do 12 on your own. The total amount Y Raul pays for renting X movies can be represented by the equation Y equals 6x. Which of the following graphs represents this situation? Okay, so X number of movies. Here's the thing. Again, this number right here is our rate of change. It's our slope. It's our, pretty much all that means right there. Well, again, I'm going to say it's our slope. I'm still going to say it's our rise over run and all that because it's super important that you guys understand these are the same thing. And if we're talking about movies, well, that means that he's going to be paying $6 per movie. And I want to make sure you guys understand that. So that's $6 per movie. Or at least days rented. All right, so we're going to figure out which one of these has a slope of 6 or costs $6 for one movie. All right, so looking at this one, here's one movie right here. Well, it should come up to right around there, so A is out. B, here's one movie here, should go to right about there. B is now out. 6, here's one movie. That one looks a little too expensive. Our point should end up closer to right there, so C appears to be out. Actually, I'm going to put a question mark just in case I screwed up here or something. Looking at D, here is one movie, and it looks like it costs right where we need to. So that'd be $6 for one movie. So if I were to go to 2 movies, that should cost around 12. That looks good. Looking at the numbers that we got here, let's go all the way to 6. So it'd be like 6 times 6. So that would be about 36 movies. This looks perfect. That one is exactly what we're looking for. So you guys try 12 on your own. Next page. All right, number 13. It says quantities x and y are related proportionally, meaning that it's a straight line that goes through 0, 0. For every 1 unit x increases, y increases by 2 units. Which graph represents this relationship? Okay, so it did say proportionally, so the first thing I'm going to check is to see if they are all straight lines and going through 0, 0. Okay, that didn't narrow anything down for us at all. Now, here's the important stuff. It's saying for every 1 unit of x, so x is going to, so like x is changing by, change of x is 1, and then what's the other one says? Y has increased by 2 units. So our y, our change of y is 2. Well, our slope, or our change of y over change of x, our rise over run, all of that, we always do this as change of y over the change of x. So it's really just talking about, we're doing, was this going to be 2 over 1? So we're looking for a rise of 2, and we're looking for a run of 1. And this all appears to be positive because, let's see, this said, I just want to double check, this said increases, this one also said increases. So both of those numbers are positive. So we're looking for a positive graph for starters. So C and D are both out. So now I'm going to start at the center and see which one goes up 2 over 1. So from right here, I go up 2. Make sure I'm using the right colors here. Yeah, because I want to do it. So blue is going to be Y. So rise of 2, run of 1. A looks perfect. Let's double check B just in case. Rise of 2, round of 1. That didn't line up. B is out. A is the answer that we are looking for. I do want you to try 14 on your own, but here's what I want to point out. Good Lord, this one actually looks a little bit tougher. Kind of wishing I'd done this for you, but it's good for you to stretch your brains a bit. So it says quantities x and y are related proportionally. For every 1 unit x increases, y decreases by a quarter unit. I'm going to help you guys out on this one because I want to make sure you're doing well. So I'm going to set up change of, actually I need to do this in blue just so it matches the other one. Change of y over the change of x. So it said for every 1 unit of x increases. So x is going to be going up by 1. That's positive. Our y's says it decreases. So it's going down by a quarter of a unit. So I don't really want to do this as another fraction, so I'm going to call this 0.25 for right now. Here's what I need you guys to know. Actually, you can probably just read it. That means that, well, screw it. Here's how we're going to do it. Because that's a quarter, I'm going to multiply both of these, because it won't change my number at all, times 4. So if I do both of these times 4, this will be a lot easier to read. 0.25 times 4 is going to give me a change of 1 for my y, and x is, 1 times 4 is just 4. And again, don't forget that this whole thing is going to be negative. So I would use this for your slope to figure out which one of those graphs is going down 1, right 4. And again, because it says it's going decreasing, you can narrow. Looks like you can get rid of only 1, unfortunately. In fact, I'm going to help you out with that too. J is out. It's got to be either F, G, or H. You guys are on your own for the rest of that part, though. All right, last one I'm going to do. I'll do 15. You guys will have 16. So number 15 says a person riding a bike burns 640 calories every 2 hours. Which graph shows the relationship between the number of bicycling hours X and the number of calories burned Y? Well, here's our important thing. We're talking about 640 calories every 2 hours. Good Lord, that 2 is extremely important. So 640 every 2. We could simplify it. We could get a unit rate or whatever else out of it. But honestly, all we're going to do is we're just going to look for that 2. So I'm going to start here at A. So I'm going to go here to 2. And I'm going to come up here and see if this is around 640. Well, it's like around 500. A is out. On B, here is 2. That's really dang close. Like, I think that's above the line. I'm pretty sure it's B, but we're going to check these other ones just to be sure. So here's 2 hours, up to not anywhere close to 640. C is out. And final one, here's 2 hours. That's way too high, so D is out. So, yep, it was definitely going to be B. All right, 16 is on your own. Hopefully you guys are pretty good at this stuff, because these are questions that I do not want to see you guys missing on the star. So good luck on the rest of those.